Walk into Suncorp Stadium and one of the first things that hits you is the history. On the wall, painted proudly, are the faces of the Broncos skippers, the captains of the Cauldron. But here's the catch. That wall was painted back in 2005. Nearly 20 years has passed, and since then, the Broncos have had 6 more captains on the men's side, and that's not even mentioning the women's leaders. With the club's 40th anniversary just around the corner in 2028. The question is it time for an update?
Yeah! Old Skool Broncos! Yeah!
G'day legends, welcome back to the Old Skool Broncos Podcast, where we dig into the culture, the history, and the debates that make our club tick. Today's topic, should the captains of the Cauldron wall at Suncorp be refreshed? Because right now, it's frozen in 2005. Since then, a whole new generation of leaders has carried the Broncos' name. And with the 40th anniversary of the club coming up in 2028, the timing couldn't be more interesting. In 2005, the wall was unveiled to celebrate the men who had led the Broncos through the first 2 decades. Wally Lewis, the king, our first skipper. Gene Miles, that dynamic centre from Townsville. Allan Langer, the little general, 4-time premiership captain. Kevin Walters, the steady playmaker with that beautiful outball. Gorden Tallis, the raging bull. And Darren Lockyer, the man just beginning his captaincy journey, who would go on to be potentially a future immortal. It was a snapshot of the Broncos' leadership up to that point. But in the years since, 6 more men have led the club. Sam Thaiday, the fan favourite, the larrikin leader. Corey Parker, the tireless worker, a 300 gamer who bled maroon and gold and is Supercoach champion. Justin Hodges led the Broncos to that grand final in 2015 and one of our toughest competitors. Darius Boyd, captain through the turbulent time and a steady hand. Alex Glenn, the loyal clubman who stuck it out through the toughest era. And more recently, Adam Reynolds, the current skipper who's brought belief and structure back. These 6 names aren't on the wall, but they are part of the Broncos story. Since 2005, there's also been an entire new Broncos team created, the NRLW side, and they've built a dynasty of their own. Brigginshaw has captained the side from the beginning, leading them to multiple premierships, the first 3 in fact. She captained Queensland, she captained Australia. In many ways, she's the Darren Lockyer of the women's game. Classy, composed and decorated. In 2025, she's joined by Tamika Upton, who has stepped in for the co-captain role. Already one of the best players in the world, a match winner and a leader of the next generation. So here's the big question. If the captains of the Cauldron wall is about telling the Broncos' leadership story, should Brigginshaw and now Tamika Upton be up there too? You see, the wall isn't just a decoration, it's history. It's identity. It's what greets fans when they step into the Cauldron. Right now, it tells the story of the club up until 2005, but it misses the last 20 years, and it misses it in an entire half of the Broncos organisation. The women. Fans deserve to see the full picture. Kids should see Parker, Hodges, Glenn Reynolds and Brigginshaw, and maybe even Upton alongside the original. That way, the Broncos' leadership story feels complete. Now here's where it gets real interesting, because the Broncos' 40th anniversary is 2028. By then, Adam Reynolds will have retired. He's already said 2026 will be his last. That means by 27, we'll have a new Broncos captain leading the club into the next era. So do we rush to update the wall now, or do we wait for that milestone? On one hand, waiting until 2027 makes sense. A big anniversary celebration, a brand new captain to unveil, and the perfect chance to redo the wall as a whole of club tribute. On the other hand, we've already waited 20 years. That's a whole generation of leaders left unrecognised. Updating it now could reconnect the fans with the leadership legacy that's been missing from view. Being a Broncos captain is more than tossing the coin. one of the heaviest roles in the game. You're carrying the weight of a club, a city, and 30 plus years of history. Wally's aura, Alfie's brilliance, Tallis' fire, Lockyer's calm, Thaiday's spirit, Parker's reliability, Hodges' toughness, Boyd's professionalism, Glenn's loyalty, Reynolds' experience, Brigginshaw's dynasty, and Upton's magic. That's not just leadership, that's the Broncos' identity woven through the years. So, is it the time to update the captain to the Cauldron wall now? Absolutely. But do we do it now, or do we wait until the 40th anniversary in a couple of years when a new captain will have emerged? Either way, one thing's clear, the wall has to grow. Because the Broncos story doesn't stop in 2005, it's still being written by Reynolds today and by whoever leads the club next. And if you ask me, that's something worth painting in big, bold colours at the Cauldron. What do you reckon, legends? Update it now or wait for the 40th anniversary milestone? Let me know in the comments. This has been the Old Skool Broncos Podcast, celebrating the history, the leaders, and the future of the mighty Brisbane Broncos. Let's go, Broncos.